started by talking about equal justice for all. Last summer, our nation was rocked by months of violence all across our country following the death of George Floyd. In fact, from May 26 to June 8th last year, Black Lives Matter and Antifa riots caused over $2 billion in property damage. It's estimated here at the Capitol, it was on January 6th, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 million. The Major Cities Chiefs Association said that during the 10 weeks following George Floyd's death, there were 574 riots, declared riots, with violence and other criminal activity. That's 57 per week. Americans lost their lives. There were severe injuries, including over 2,000 law enforcement. And yet the Democratic Party to this day has yet to even hold a single hearing on the BLM and Antifa riots. It's stunning to me. Many of my Democratic colleagues pretend that the chaos never happened. Others promoted, actually, and encouraged it. And frankly, the left, along with the allies of the liberal media, pushed a false narrative that these were somehow peaceful protests, while we watched burned police stations, besieged courthouses, looted businesses, assaulted police officers, and on and on and on. And I'm concerned, Director Wray, that we are, all that somehow is resulting in a less than aggressive investigation, prosecution, and sentencing on the federal level. So I'm curious, how many individuals has the FBI investigated and or arrested regarding the riots that we all watched across our country last summer?
I can't give you the exact number, but I do know that we've had hundreds of investigations and hundreds of arrests. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that I share your concern about the violence and criminality that occurred over the summer. It was extremely serious activity that we used all the tools in our toolbox to pursue. Our joint terrorism task forces treating it as a form of domestic terrorism as well. And in fact, last year, we had more anarchist violent extremist arrests than we'd had in the prior 3 years combined. So we at the FBI are taking both forms of domestic terrorism extremely seriously, and I appreciate your interest.
Are you aware of any of those individuals being in solitary confinement?
Well, again, same answer as in connection with the January 6th arrest.
All right, Director Wray, thank you. I get the point. I'd love to ask about the Durham report, the Hunter Biden laptop, Hunter's business dealings in China, and a host of other things. But my time has expired. I will wrap up, but I would urge this Democratic leadership to hold hearings on the riots that took place across this country last summer. I yield back.